Also, new details are emerging today about the coronavirus bailout deal that was reached between the airlines and the Treasury Department. Phil LeBeau is here, and he has more on that front. Phil, good morning.
And Becky, we've already seen the $25 billion in payroll grants. They've decided on that. There's an initial agreement between Treasury and the airlines. They're still finalizing some details, disbursement of money to come. And then you will have by tomorrow applications starting to be filed by those same airlines for the other $25 billion that's been set aside. These are for low interest loans or loan guarantees backed by the Treasury Department. Now, when you look at the airline index, and again, they had a bit of move higher, not a big one, but a little bit move higher yesterday. Keep in mind the bailout rules that have been locked in, no stock buybacks, the executive compensation has been capped, and stock warrants to the Treasury Department on the bailout side or on the payroll grant side, it amounts to about 3% of the money that was awarded to each airline. That's the value of the stock warrants that went to the Treasury Department. Yesterday, in an exclusive interview with American Airlines CEO Doug Parker, we talked to him before they said that they had officially received or planned to receive $5.8 billion about the restrictions that have been locked in place. Here's what he had to say.
There are conditions we were happy to accept. If you find yourself in need of government assistance, I think it's fair to say that until you've paid off the loans, for example, if you choose to take loans, that you don't have stock buybacks, you don't do dividends, that the money doesn't flow to your executives.
Those are a lot of the questions regarding the restrictions and the conditions that have been put into the airline bailout. Now the question comes for a company like Boeing, which has said to Congress, look, we may need up to $60 billion, not just for us, but also for our suppliers and for the aviation industry. What will the final restrictions be there? Keep in mind, Boeing has not committed to whether or not it will be seeking a particular amount from the Treasury Department. They're in the midst of seeing what those terms will be. They may still end up just doing all of this in the private market, guys. So I think these are the questions that people are focused on as you take a look at what happens with Boeing, let's say over the next week to 2 weeks, as they make a decision about what aid, how much aid they take from the federal government and what the conditions are that are attached to it.